Tamil Nadu Open University, Chennai 15. Bachelor of Education in Special Education, Semester 1, SED 11X, Human Growth and Development, Audiobook 1. Block 1, Unit 4, Nature and Nurture. Nature and nurture have significant role in human development. Nature due to heredity and nurture is due to environment. Both heredity and environment have special significance in the field of education. Objectives. After going through this unit, you will be able to comprehend the contribution of heredity and environment for human development. Compare the influence of nature and nurture on human development. Nature and nurture. The nature and nurture are terms of heredity and environment. Two views are prevailing among the psychologists with regard to the growth and development of an individual, namely heredity and environment. Some people argue that a person's heredity decides his growth and development, and others argue that it is different environment which decides the individual pattern of growth and development. Meaning of heredity. Heredity is the process by which characteristics of individual are basically determined by genes received from the parents. Holland defined one's heredity consists of all the structure and physical characteristics, function and capacity derived from the parents' other ancestry of species. Woodworth defines heredity covers all the factors that are present in the individual when the begins of life, not at birth, but at the time of conception about 9 months before birth. Meaning of environment. Environment is a process by which characteristics of an individual are determined by his or her surrounding and circumstances. The forces of environment begins to play their part and influence and the development of the individual, right from the time of fertilization of the ovum by sperm. Therefore, from the environmental point of view, not of the mother after conception has equal significance. Boring Landfield and field define the environment is everything that affects the individual except his genes. Dockles and Holland defines environment as a word which describes in the aggregated all extrinsic forces of influences and conditions which affect the life, nature, behavior and the growth, development and maturation of living organism. Woodworth and Marquis define environment covers all the outside factors that have acted on the individual since the begins life. Differences between heredity and environment. The following table explains the difference between heredity and environment. Heredity. Under the heredity, point 1, innate of inborn. Heredity, genetic constitution. Heredity as a body constitution. Heredity is a physical traits. Heredity is a biological in nature. Heredity fixed the traits during conception. Heredity only limited role. Heredity causing similarities are identified between parent and children in their physical and mental makeup. Heredity cannot be changed. When it comes to environment acquired, environment constitutions, environment mental constitution, physical traits and psychological traits, environment fixed the traits after birth, wider role, causing differences between parent and children on their physical and mental makeup. Environment can be changed. Studies on environment and heredity. Several researchers have been conducted research on heredity to support that the heredity is the main causes of the formation of behavior and character. Douglas did a study on Juke families. Juke was a fisherman who was a corrupt. About 100 persons were born 5 generations out, which 300 died during infancy. 310 were orphan, 130 were criminal, and rest 120 was normal. Thus, the family inherited certain physical and mental traits from generation to generation, which were responsible for the antisocial activities. Goddard studied Collicock's family. Collicock's family was a soldier who married two women. One was feeble minded and another was an intelligent girl. Of 48 individuals described from the feeble minded women, 434 were mostly feeble minded, criminal, sexual perverted, and drug addicted. From their descended of the intelligent girls, 486 out of 496 individuals were talented. Thus, the study supported the heredity factor. Sir Francis Galton conducted a study on family histories of 977 persons. Of 977 eminent men, 536 were found to have a close blooded relationship and were famous. On the other hand, study on 1977 common persons, only 4 nearer relatives were famous. Studies on environment. The following studies supported environment as the main causes for the formation of behavior and character. Scottish survey DCQ study shows that environment changes brought about changes in the IQ of children. The most celebrated of these studies are Scottish surveys of 1932 and 1947 as reported by the Scottish Council of Research and Education. In 1932, intelligence tests were administered to 87,498 Scottish children of the same age. The average score showed a small but significant improvement over the 15-year period. Study of Fly and Edith. These two identical female twins were separated in childhood. One of them was married to businessman and the another one to a farmer. In the behavior, the IQ and many other psychological area, they were lost the difference between the two in the later part of their life. Study of James and Reese. These two twins were related in a hill and village respectively. When their intelligence was marked, the differences of 19 points were found. They indicated the intelligence of environment. Study of wolf children. In the early 1920s, some hunters found two children from a cave of wolves in a jungle. One of them was about 11 years and another about 7 years old. It seemed as if the children had been carried away one by the female wolf when they were young babies and instead of being eaten up. They were rolled up in the cave. The social environment turned them into wild beasts. They half and crawled like a beast. They could not stand erect. Their limbs were crooked, but they could crawl very stiffly just like a wolf's. Their jaws and had been deformed and disfigured. They ate raw meat and felt restlessness in the presence of men. They sipped water. They were taken to a hospital. After some day, the priest took them home. He made great effort to reclaim them. He taught them how to eat and drink. He trained them in wearing clothes. At first they resist, but after some months became to wear clothes. He trained them how to walk erect and he succeeded soon. Meanwhile, the younger child died. But the behavior of the elder one was modified and he looked like a human being. The environmentalist says that was purely environment which brought from them back to a human from the behavior. Check your progress. Write the answer in the spaces given. What is the Woolworth definition of heredity? And what is the environment and nurture? Give any four differences between heredity and environment.